Good evening. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mighty Show. I'm your host, Elvin, and we are going to get into Silo, episode 4, a hit on Apple TV. It is a resounding success, and people are loving it, including us. And I say us, it's not just me and the figures behind me. It's this guy here, Sheldon.
Episode 4.
Four.
Episode 4. 4.
So,
Mighty Show. Welcome.
yes. We're flexing today.
Flexing today. There's a lot of flexing happening in this episode. Flexing up power in this episode.
A lot of backstabbing, front stabbing, not just stabbing.
A lot of unexpected.
Yes. Unexpected. A lot of questions still to be answered.
Yeah.
Especially a particular individual's pupils.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things to get into here. Let's start it with a warning to everybody out there.
Mad spoilers.
Yes, 100% spoiler-filled episode here. There's no holding back here on tonight's episode. So if you haven't watched it, come back to us later and watch our review of it and see if it lines up with yours. And if you agree or disagree with us, either way, let us know in the comments section. And then so we can read it and maybe talk about it on next week's episode.
Exactly.
Yes. 10 episodes to go in this show total. We are 4. We're not even halfway there yet, and things have picked up. Things have picked up quite a bit. Let's get into it, man. Let's do it. We're not going to waste any time. Let's get into it right now.
No.
Let's do it. Okay, you've been all warned. It's going to be filled with spoilers. So hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're hanging out for the first time with us. Come join us. We have shows going on 3 times a week on various topics and various things in the pop culture world. So hang out with us. All right, let's do this. So where do we want to begin? Where do you want to begin? Do you want to begin with Bernard and the situation there? Or do you want to with what's her name from
Judge.
Rebecca? Sorry, what's her name? Juliet.
Rebecca Ferguson, Juliet Nichols.
Yeah, which side do you want to go on first?
I kind of want to get into the juicy side of things first.
Okay.
Because her side was a little tame. Like you know,
it had a lot of exploration to do with it.
Yes,
there were some tense moments
and some questions.
Yes.
But I kind of want to dig into Bernard's side of things, the mayor's side of things, because a lot of things went down.
Mm-hmm. So let's do it.
And I'm confused.
So in episode 3, where did we leave off? We left off with
where did we leave off
the
with?
judge wanted to go outside, leave,
yes,
right? There was
and Mechanical
was getting it. The last part where I remember was Mechanical. The guy was talking to one of the other characters of Mechanical and saying that, hey, look at these things that we found here at the bottom.
Hank was talking to Shirley about what was in the below. And he was like, I think it was meant for us, and it was other mechanical people. And in this episode, we dived into that a bit more.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. A lot of messages were left behind. And he even said as a kid, he thought it was some hocus pocus bullcrap. But now, as he's older, he's understanding that this is actually left behind by other mechanical people from before. Those that started kind of the revolution a little bit, maybe. Because there were messages that were left behind saying Mechanical was to blame. They blamed us. Don't trust them. So on and so forth. There was a lot of messages.
One thing I do... Sorry, go ahead, finish.
I was going to say, my thing is, why didn't y'all read this shit before? Like, are you that dumb?
I was just going to say that. Like, I mean, how long has it been there?
Right.
But maybe people are oblivious to it because they don't go that area.
That, or they just weren't, they were just looking at it. It was just a bunch of words and it never made sense to them. Right.
My question is, this show always gives us something to foreshadow.
Mm-hmm.
And we just don't see it. If we had knowing what we know at the end of the show, what happened, if we were to go back and watch that show episode again, we'd be like, oh, duh, they just told us the whole right there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's the funny part is that when you go back and watch this episode again, you're like, oh my god, they just literally gave us the script at the beginning of what's going to happen, right? So that was very interesting. So yeah, we begin with that. So we got two really strong stories going on here. Well, three if you count Mechanical. That's a strong story too. But in my eyes, I have two strong stories. I have the mayor and the judge situation, and then I have Juliet and Solo situation. They're my 1 and 1A storylines going on, right?
Yeah.
Mechanical is sort of, I think Mechanical kind of extends out of Bernard and the judge's storyline because it's so connected, right? The Juliet and Solo is off to the left there. It's just really off there, but it's a very, very compelling story because she's trying to make an attempt to go back to her silo, which will have
because she realized she screwed up a little bit.
Yeah, which will have a massive impact on everything and everyone in the silo there. She didn't die; she's still alive. We also get a character coming back from episode 1. Our boy, I can't remember his name. Our Indian boy. Lucas, is it?
Was it Lucas?
Yeah, it was Lucas.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Avi Nash plays Lucas Kyle.
The light gazer.
Yes. Hello, Tav. How you doing?
What's up, Ghost?
Oh, you call him Ghost. I call him Tav. One day we'll get it together.
Eventually.
Hope you watched the latest episode, or have you started watching Silo, Tav? I wanted to know. So, anyways, Lucas Kyle, it couldn't be any more Indian than that.
You're right.
Not even a hint.
No,
not even a
not
hint.
at all.
At least Dave Patel or Dev Patel had a hint. Right?
Maybe he's adopted.
It doesn't matter. You can still
maybe he's adopted.
You can name him first name Indian. Well, you didn't know it was an Indian baby.
Oh shit.
He must be Portuguese. That's what
he must be Portuguese. Goddamn.
Well, I know a lot of Indians with Portuguese last names because in Goa, it's Portuguese settlers that came there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Goa, the state of India, is predominantly Christian. So there's a lot of Fernandez as last names there. I know quite a few with Fernandez as their last name. So
interesting.
Anyway,
okay.
Enough with the geographical breakdown of cultures. Let's break down this culture. So we have you wanted to talk about Bernard and the Mechanical. Let's dive into more of this. So we have Bernard, he seems to have a lot of secrets.
Oh, very much so, man. And not much has been revealed quite yet. He's still kind of shrouded in mystery. We still don't really know who he is. He says I'm still in season 1, but enjoying your show breakdown. I'm muting when I hear spoiler. Thanks for recommending the show. Oh, good stuff, man.
Even if you get a little bit of the spoilers, it's okay because it's sort of like a prequel now, right?
Yes.
You know what to expect, but you'll catch up. Eventually, you'll catch up with us. So keep fighting the good fight there. Forget work and life. Just continue watching on your couch.
Yeah.
Right. So grab some chips and some dip, get a drink, and just power forward through this. That's my recommendation. Okay. I'm not a certified doctor, but I play one on TV.
God.
Bernard. So, okay. I don't like this character. I've always kind of, hate's a strong word, disliked this character.
That means he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Like, he really irritates me, right? You know, he irks me. That's the word. He irks me.
I feel like he kind of, like, he's struggling a little bit to maintain order. And those around him that he's trusting, he's also keeping at arm's length.
It's sort of like the roof's collapsing on him.
I feel like that's going to be his downfall.
Yeah,
I really do, man.
Yeah, he has a very punchable face too.
Oh yeah,
not the actor, obviously, the character that he plays has a very punchable face. Well, because I mean, he's so arrogant, obnoxious. He's also very cold.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pathological liar,
Yep.
right? He has no whatsoever remorse. He doesn't care what he does to anybody.
No.
Case in point, Juliet being thrown out even though she didn't ask for it, right? And then lie to everybody in Silo of the whole story, make it up.
Yep.
Like, so I can't wait to see what he gets. I hope season 2 is his last season.
It kind of makes you wonder if what he's doing is really more for the Silo or is it really for himself?
It's for himself, I believe.
Because he says he does things for the Silo. Like he knows, he clearly knows it's still bad out there. And if people go out, they're all dead.
But how does he know that?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
He doesn't know anything, in my opinion, outside of that door. He has no clue. The only thing he knows is Juliet went over that mound. That's
but
all
other
he
people
knows.
have died out there.
Yeah, but other people didn't go as far as she did.
No, but but that's because he now knows it's because of the tape, right? So,
but he also in season 1 he also knew that there are more than one silos.
Yeah, he did know that.
So he's probably also thinking, what if she went to another silo?
Oh, he knows that she went to another silo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's probably afraid that they're gonna come here, and so he has to keep everybody together and fight the good fight. Because if he has conflict and division inside of his own silo,
right,
what is he gonna do when the other silos come knocking? And because that probably did also happen where another silo came, or these guys went to another silo, and Bernard could have been one of those people that killed all these people or manipulated people.
That'd be wild.
There's so many wild theories, because then you also add in the lying of the birth control that they did.
Yes, the population control.
That seems to be overlooked by a lot of people watching that I've talked to. But I'm like, keep an eye on that storyline, because there's something about that just, what were they trying to do? Keep population down?
So that's what I believe. I think the whole, in the silo, they said there's about 10,000 or 20,000 people, right? So that
10,
means they only have
10,000.
10,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means they only have enough finite resources to give to everybody. And they're picking and choosing who is worthy of having children. And they're looking for those. I think they did state this in season 1. They are literally giving it to those who are following the rules of the silo, not to those that are those outside thinkers, right? So it's to diminish them and populate with those that will listen to the order. So while I still don't think it's done, we know a big chunk of it for sure. Because the dad still plays a part, like Juliet's dad still plays a part in this. I think he's gonna play a part in it somewhere down the road here.
Well, they keep bringing his scenes into the episodes.
Yeah, I have a weird feeling
there's a reason
why
why
end up revealing the secrets to the entire silo. That's what I believe. He's gonna let them all know, like, I've been doing this for years. You all have one or they might have like multiple birth control things realistically, or there's, I mean, it's kind of hard to say because in the first episode when they took it out of Allison, she took another one out of herself, so there's got to be more than one.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like Bernard, I always get this feeling that Bernard's from another silo.
Very well could be, man.
I just feel like he's from somewhere else, and he's probably killed somebody to stay in power. Hint, hint. What we'll talk about later on. I also believe that the judge, what is her name again? Judge. I always forget names.
Judge Meadows.
Meadows. Thank you.
Yeah.
I never liked this character from the beginning, but up until last episode, I'm like, I don't like your character. I don't like you, but I get you. I get you why you're there.
Yeah. She kind of grew on me in the second
Yeah,
season.
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I just found her like kind of pointless.
sort of. Like, it feels like her demeanor was okay. She does want to go outside, but why? No idea. We don't know why. But she's also helping Bernard. And on the other hand, she's still kind of, I don't know what she like for this episode, for example. She talked to what's his name?
Lucas.
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 She talked to Lucas. She asked him, what were the lights? And he was like, I don't know. Tried to explain. He's like, they're stars.
Yeah. She explained Newton's law to him.
100. Yeah. And the
Right?
whole
Yeah, she's like,
after,
we
after
don't.
he explained the whole rotation about the earth, and she was like, actually, you're right, and so on and so forth. And this is actually what it is. I'm like, why the fuck would you tell him this only to send him back to the goddamn mines?
But she did reduce the sentence. It's
She
5
did.
years. It's 5
She
years
did.
instead of 10 years, I think.
But she believes he's not going to last more than a year.
Why do that even? Why bother?
That's what I don't get.
That's why I don't like her. You know, she pretends to be nice, but maybe she's forced to be evil because she's surrounded by evil. Maybe evil's too harsh of a word. Forced to be.
She's following the rules.
Yeah, that's it.
She's being forced to do her job.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but
it seems to be that. Who are they? Who are they? Like, we have Bernard and we have her. They seem to be the top of the echelon.
Right.
Who's above them? We don't know.
Well, we know that just based off this, what we've known so far, the judge is definitely above the mayor. Like, and mechanical during when they were down in that weird little area, they even stated this. They were like, we need to talk to the judge, not the mayor. The judge is the one that the people believe in and hold power to. So if we talk to her, things will happen. The question, and your question becomes absolutely valid. It's like, who's above her then?
Because who are they afraid of?
I feel like there's got to be. See, so your thing about Bernard coming from another silo, I feel like there might be something to that. I feel like there's a central silo of upper echelon that send people out, and their families. Like, it's families that they send out, and you're like, you're controlling this one, you're controlling and so on and so forth, and you got to keep procreating to keep the order alive. However, we don't see Bernard with anybody. We don't see the judge with anybody. There's no wife, there's no kids that we're aware of. So it's like, and they're supposed to be sanctioned to be together with somebody, but they're not. Yeah. So it's like, where the hell are their people, or do they even have anybody?
I honestly think Bernard killed his wife.
Jesus.
That's what I think, because I believe that he's so hell bent on keeping the secret that anybody who crosses him or gives him an ounce of, that they're going to come out and spill the beans, he's going to end them.
Yeah, I can see that.
For me, like, what I want to know is, like, also, is Bernard's lackey Common?
Yeah, his character.
What's his angle? He might, like, hey, dude, if there's someone that's gonna take this guy out at the end of the season, that's my number one pick. That's my number one pick.
I believe it, man. Especially after this episode. So him and his wife plotted against Judge Meadows because they knew what was going to happen. If Mechanical came and talked to her, like, they knew nothing good was going to come of it. So they end up plotting an impeachment. And his wife's like, well, impeachment is going to cause chaos. He's like, not if it's controlled.
Yeah.
Not if it comes from the people.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're saying.
Sorry. Yeah. And it literally started happening right after her conversation with Lucas. And she started hearing it. She started seeing. I'm like, I thought they were supposed to respect her. So he's got some pull. There's some pull there. I just don't know what his influence is over the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Common's character, what's his name again?
Sims.
Sims. So Sims
Robert Sims. Yeah.
Sims is very loyal to Bernard. No matter how much, there's only so much someone can handle.
I feel like it's I know where
I
you're
think
going.
it's slipping away.
Yes.
I think it's slowly slipping away. Their tight bond of, keeping each other, having each other's back.
Yeah.
I think that's slowly getting separated here. And then you also have to add in Billings.
Right? He's not becoming a little bit of an independent.
Yeah, he's no longer drinking the same Kool-Aid that Bernard is giving to him.
Mm-mm.
He's sort of branching out. Well, it reminds you of the first sheriff.
Yes.
Right? He's following the footsteps of his former boss.
Yeah.
Right?
Who also believed in that.
And then now he's also got a sidekick. The gentleman that's his partner now.
Oh, the long hair dude? The hippie guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name was.
So he's also there. So now you have a team of two people, because they're all confused because there was a body being missing. That's another story altogether there about that riot that happened in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's a body missing, and so there's some things there. I didn't really quite get the point of that one.
Yeah. So okay. So let me see if I can paint this out. So they were doing their investigation. They know it was that Kennedy guy and Coop.
Yeah.
Coop was the one that got shot. I mean, they both got shot, but presumably both died. Right. What we learned is that they did end up taking Kennedy's body. Judicial took Kennedy's body up, and they were like, "What the hell?" They're like, "Okay, let's go take a look at Coop's body then and see what we can find out." And when they got there, Coop's body was gone too, and they were like, "What the hell is going on?" Because his body should not have gone, because it belonged to Mechanical. His did not make sense for leaving. And then they discovered, well, they didn't even know it was that Kennedy guy. There was just some long-haired dude with a big beard that ended up throwing that Molotov at the damn wall. And they were like, where's that body? Coroner was like, I have no idea. They took the only one that was there. And dude was like, nope, there should have been two. And they were trying to figure out where they got shot. And the longer-haired deputy was like, I'm pretty sure you got shot here. No, it was there. So they took him alive. Sims kept his promise, I think. Kennedy is alive, but his memories are going to end up being gone. So when they do find him and they go to question him, he won't have goddamn answers.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. And they're going to be like, why?
I wonder if they use this technology on everybody else too, to forget they live there or why they're there.
Ooh. You think they got it? That'd be...
Think about how powerful that technology is, that you're able to make someone forget years of their life.
Right.
How that controlling factor will play if you have that power. Right? Because you can just go and start giving it this to all the people that could be a threat to you in the silo.
Mm-hmm.
And give yourself more years, buy more years, essentially.
Right.
So I'm wondering that maybe the judge was trying to remember things, is trying to get out there, and Bernard's like, okay, this is a threat now. We've already wiped her brain for a while. It's time for her to go.
You know, okay. So when they had dinner, he did ask her when she left as his shadow. She was gone for 4 days. And she couldn't answer where she went. Either she didn't want to or she didn't remember.
Those are 4 days of scientific work.
I don't know if we're ever going to get that gap filled. But if we do, I feel like it's going to be mind-blowing. Because she left him as his shadow, never told him why. That made me more curious as to why she left him.
Maybe he's using that on everybody around him to keep them at bay, keep them under his way of controlling them.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously knows Judge overrides him, but if he can erase her memories and give himself more years, then he'll do that.
Right. But at this point, it's too late. He can't even do that anymore.
No.
No.
That dinner was very carefully planned.
Yeah. When she started crying and started choking, I was like, oh shit, it's in the wine. But then he was like, nope, it's not in the wine. I was like, okay, because that's how he took out the other. Oh, I'm assuming now that's how he took out the other mare. Like, we still don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But he has that power to do so. He is a dick.
I'm wondering why he's so afraid to give her the suit.
Because if she walks out, it's going to cause chaos. If she goes missing, it's going to cause chaos. They're going to be like,
he can like deliberately make the screw like the suit like have holes in it, have
True.
issues. Like he can definitely manipulate that suit because what is she gonna know? How is she gonna know there's microscopic holes all over the suit?
Fair. I think what it comes down to is if the judge goes missing, it's going to be like, where is she? Where did she go? It could be, yeah, she walked outside, but then, okay, why the hell is the judge walking outside? I thought she believed in us, right? Send her down to the mines. Why the hell is the judge in the mines?
The optics is what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense because if she
Right.
walks out, they're like, "Whoa, what the heck's going on here?" Right?
Yeah, and if he was like, oh, I sent her down to the mines, people are going to be like, why the hell did she go down to the mines? What did she do? And
Yeah.
if people do come back from the mines, they're going to be like, she was never there.
That's true.
Yeah. So his plan for what he did at that dinner set it all up. He made sure that she avoided meeting with Mechanical, even though she told him there was contingencies. I was just going to hear them out, set up a committee to look at those things and waste their time. But he didn't want to risk it. And it makes you wonder, like, why? Like, she's doing everything she's supposed to be doing to keep the place in order. You're doing things that are about the same, but you're doing it in a weird way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right when going back to her leaving the silo. I think if she was to walk out of the silo, nobody would listen to Bernard and what he has to say.
No.
And he was left with no choice. He was never going to make that suit for her, right? Because if he makes that suit for her, it's just only a matter of time before chaos inserts in the silo.
Yeah.
And so he had to carefully construct a way to murder her without having his hands dirty. But
he's still technically an interim mayor, right? He hasn't been fully sworn in yet.
I thought, is he not? I thought he was. But regardless, maybe this will catapult him to be even more powerful, become judge. Maybe that's what Common character wants. Sims.
Do you think he's going to place him in there?
I mean, I don't think he wants to be judge. I think he wants to be mayor. And Sims definitely wants to be judge, I think.
He'd be
I'm expecting episode 5 to Sims to be pushed in the judge seat.
Yeah. And for those of you that are wondering what we're talking about for the judge seat, she does get murdered by Bernard. Yeah. He ends up poisoning her. But then what they end up doing is they stage it as it's a murder. When Mechanical does eventually come up and figure out what's going on, they only let Hank and Shirley in.
Well, let's back up a little bit here. So why they're coming upstairs is because they want to have a conversation about I think going outside.
Yes.
Right? As a whole.
It's to develop new and better suits.
Yeah.
And to send a few people outside just to see what's going on.
Like recon, right?
Yes.
So they wanted that. So they had a team of 4, the old 2 ladies and then the 2 people that, what are their names again?
Oh, you're talking about
Shirley and what's his name?
It's Martha. Yeah, the old lady Martha. No, right?
Yeah, isn't it Martha? Martha.
What? How do you know that name? God damn it. That's my mom. Yeah, there's Carla. Carla, and I think it might be Martha.
Martha Walker.
Yes.
Yeah. And Sandy. Is it Sandy?
Which one are you talking about? The younger
The
lady?
older lady, the African lady.
No, I think it's Carla.
Was it Carla? Okay. Okay. So you have those four. They said to them, nope, you two ladies got to wait here. And well, the first they were getting resistance because they're going up the stairs. They were getting resistance from the upper parts.
The upper floor people.
Yeah, the West End, the estate of people.
Yeah.
The higher you
Which, by
go,
the way,
the
they
more.
don't look any better than the downstairs people. They look exactly the same. So I
But
don't know.
they wanna walk like the shit don't stink. Right?
But I'm like, y'all don't look any different. I don't understand how you so high up on your high horses like this, man. Stop.
Anyway, so they are resisting allowing them, and then obviously Bernard's crew says, "Nope, let him in." Common Sims said, "Do you think it's a good idea?" Yeah, it's a good idea. Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, we got this.
And so Shirley and the gentleman, they walk up to the office, open the door. And at this time, I'm like, oh man, you're walking into a hornet's nest. You just got screwed.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they see the judge on the desk with the knife. And she's
a utility
dead.
knife at that. A utility knife that only mechanical would have.
So clever.
Yeah.
Down to the points there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought that was smart. If it was any regular knife, it'd be hard to. You'd be like, oh, well, yeah, but a utility.
It's like
knife?
the cherry on the top.
Yeah,
that's what
made
it
a
is.
lot of sense.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh shit,
we're screwed.
Yeah,
we're screwed.
One of the things I thought that the guy says to Shirley very clever is, don't run. Let's not run out of here.
Yes, I thought that was brilliant. I was like, because I thought that was like, yeah, just fucking book it, man. Who gives a shit, But what he said when he says like, don't run, it's gonna make us look really bad.
Yeah, because now they can walk down the stairs, which they did, and if anyone was like, if the sheriff Billings was to investigate, that sheriff's like, well, why did they not run then?
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did they not run out of there? Why did they not scream? Why did they not ask for help?
Right.
There's grounds there for an investigation, so this does not look like it's cut and dry. Right? They gave themselves a chance.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Brilliant.
And Bernard basically said, they did it. And then, Sims comes to arrest those people. And then you just see a stampede of people running down the stairs. I'm surprised they didn't kill each other.
I'm also surprised that like a lot of them are doing this, because I thought they wanted to impeach her. Now they're like, let's get them for her.
Maybe murder changes people.
Fair. Yeah.
You would hope so. One would hope so.
Yeah.
For society's sake.
Yeah.
So you see them basically going, and the episode ends there. But let's go back to Juliet's story now.
Yep.
So that's how the story ends for episode 4 of this chase to the bottom now, where they're trying to get to the bottom of the mechanical 4. And we'll find an episode 5. Man, I'm excited to watch episode 5.
I'm so curious.
They always leave on a cliffhanger. It just pisses me off.
That's how they keep you
have a nice episode. I know. They do a good job. They do a really good job. Okay, so let's go to Juliet's side of things now. She's in that other silo with Solo. I just can't believe they named the guy Solo. Like, seriously? What's our name of our show? Silo. Let's name him Solo. So stupid.
He's Solo in a silo.
That was a dumb decision to name him Solo.
You can make a song out of that.
Maybe maybe the author was a big Star Wars fan.
I would like to believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only explanation I could think of why he would name it. But anyways, so she's over there, and her story is she needs to get back to her silo, and she needs to find Suit, which he recommends that it's at the bottom levels is a firefighter suit.
That's correct. Yep.
And that can help potentially keep her alive long enough to get to her silo. Right.
Because the challenge, it's not about the suit, it's what was covered on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that comes a problem now. The challenge is the suits are underwater. Well, she has to go through underwater and get to another point,
Yes.
another area. So there's water, a body of water between them and the place he needs to go to get the suits in
Yeah,
a
and
locker.
a significant amount of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now she's like, okay, I need to find a way to breathe until I get to that entry point area where I can then just come up for air, right? So she tries to put together hoses and contraptions. They go to this classroom. You see some bags, and he's talking about, I used to be in the same grade as this girl, and she's like, well, how can that be?
Yeah.
You know, like there's the numbers don't add up.
He's also explaining to her things like a circus. Did you catch that? He was
Yeah.
explaining those things, and it's just like, so he knows what these things are. Maybe this entire silo knew what they were, but her silo didn't. So maybe every silo is teaching people different things.
Or maybe they all are except for Bernard's silo.
Maybe, because he even asked her, like, when she was, I can't remember what she was explaining. She was describing something about the outside. And he was like, they let you read over there? They let you read about the outside? And she was like, no, they didn't. So
well, they didn't let them read off of the outside.
No, but he knows all about the outside.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying that Bernard, I think, is a control freak and is just not wanting to get the information.
Right.
Or maybe the lower depths of Silo doesn't get that information.
Right. Did you also notice when they entered that classroom, the numbers on the boards?
I did not notice that.
It was, and he told her, and she was like, what is this? He was like, oh, it's not important. You can just erase it. They were 6 digits long.
Phone numbers?
They were in sequential order on the board as well. It was like 551498, 551499. And I was like, maybe at first I thought maybe they're counting the days, because if it is a radiation problem outside in the real world, it takes like 300 years or something like that for it to dissipate. But then there was another thing I thought of when they got back to the fault and he was punching in the numbers and he was forgetting the combination.
Oh. So you think that's one of those is his code?
I think they were trying to figure out what combinations they were using to get inside.
Oh my God. Or maybe it was him trying to get inside.
That's the other thing too, is maybe he wasn't supposed to be in the vault. And when they figured out the numbers, they were like, this is the number. You stay inside the vault and guard the vault. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a couple different theories about that board and the numbers, but he really wanted it to be erased. He said it was not important. I don't believe that mother for a second. Not for a second.
Not somebody who's got 2 different color pupils. No, sorry, Bob.
Not somebody who thought he was seeing other people.
He's got a borderline personality issues. Like he's probably got like schizo or something like that.
He acts like a child.
Or bipolar.
Yeah, I think so, because he definitely acts like a child. Every time he tries to talk to her, he's like, "Oh, the piano. Let me show you. Hey, come look at me. Let me show you this. Watch me play." He acts like a goddamn child.
Well, that might make sense because he might have been locked up there at a young age,
right?
And so he didn't develop that social skills to become an adult, right? So that's what I'm thinking is why he's like that. And plus, remember, when is the last time we don't know, but when is the last time he interacted with humans? Because he was seeing things for a long time. He even thought she was a ghost. I think that he was locked up there a long time, or was a young kid. That's what I'm thinking. Or I'm thinking he murdered these people and took over.
I think so. Yeah. He's a weird dude, man. His character is so intriguing, man.
Yeah, and then she asks him blindly, "What happened to your eye?"
He was like, "No, don't worry about that." Just walks away.
I wonder
He's
what
like, "Hey,
really
look at
happened.
He's
I
like,
wonder
"Look at
what
the
really
piano."
happened, though, right? What are you thinking?
He probably got beat. He probably got beat. I I would have to assume so. Like I have a weird feeling there is somebody else in that vault. I don't know why. I just there's a weird inclination that there might be somebody else that he's keeping as a prisoner or something, man.
That's
Because
a good
for
theory.
one,
I
now
like that theory.
for one,
He's guarding something because they won't let her in.
yeah, and this might get a little dark, but for one, he's a male that hasn't seen anybody in years. And the first person he sees after years of isolation is a female.
And you're wondering why he's not trying to get on her?
Yes.
Maybe because he's scared of her. Maybe he's still a
Possible.
child, though.
Good point. Good
His
point.
psychological thinking is still as a child.
Good point. Okay. That's fair. That's a first one. Yeah.
But you're right, though. I mean, why is he so protective of that vault? What's there? And that's the thing that really drives me about the show. They do these secret things and they keep him really well close to the vest.
Yeah. Because he keeps saying, "Oh, I've got to lock." Remember, he kind of freaked out a couple times. He's like, "I gotta lock the vault. I gotta lock the vault." Even when she went under, once they figured out how to breathe underwater because of the piano of all things.
Yeah, the pumping of the air, right?
The little windbag thing that they were pumping. He was like, "We need to get back right now. The vault needs to be locked." So either he thinks there's still other people in the silo somewhere, or he's afraid somebody's getting out.
For me, I think it's somebody getting out. You're right. Now that I think about it, there could be somebody trying to get out and maybe ruined his, chances there. Like somebody might be like, "Hey, this guy's a bad guy. Like he doesn't want the cat to come out of the bag, so to speak."
Yeah.
And he's got people tied up there, probably
Tied, bound, and gagged. I don't know, man. Him and Bernard, like they're kind of opposite ends. They're shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
It's
That's what this show does really well. There's a lot of mystery.
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
I need answers, and I need them now.
Immediately, I say. So,
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about her chances. So she almost drowned.
She did almost drown. Yeah. I found it weird that she tied a weight to her. Like you can't either. Like, can she not swim? I guess.
Yeah, but it's not that easy to get down that deep. Have you ever did like I didn't do it, but I took lessons.
Yeah.
If you want to do scuba diving or diving with tanks, right? You need weights.
Okay.
You need weights. The tank alone is not enough for you to keep going down.
Ah, I see. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that makes sense now.
Yeah, you need weights to accelerate or not accelerate, to assist you going down.
Right.
Really good divers can do that, but those are like high-end expert divers that can do that.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
From what I gathered, when I was getting these little tiny lessons, I didn't even pass the thing. I didn't even go further because it's so expensive. But
right.
They were just telling me the basics is like skilled divers can get down to a depth of maybe 50 feet.
Wow.
Yeah. But also coming up is a problem too, because you cannot just bolt up there. You will actually blow your lungs out.
Oh.
You could die. Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
So you have to go in stages slowly. If you're going, the deeper you go, the more careful you have to be coming back up.
Okay.
You have to do in increments.
Gotcha. Okay.
Make your way up because you will die. Right. So
yeah.
Even with the oxygen, you will die. Right. Your body's just the pressure and then going up. There's a whole bunch of things behind it, but in a nutshell, you'll die.
Got it.
So she put weights on because she had to get down fast. Getting down fast is not that bad.
Right.
Because there's a time limit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So So she has to breathe, get down, right? So having that weight helped her, but the issue was she didn't anticipate a door closing behind her
No.
and trapping herself there, which I thought was
Yeah.
really dumb of her not to figure out the door's not closing.
Yeah. I was like, how did this happen?
Because you open the door and you look and you're like, if the door's coming, then you're like, oh yeah, this door's gonna close. Why would you just bolt in? I don't understand that. So I found that stupid.
Right.
But anyway, so she basically had to like get the knife out, or oh no, she had to find a metal rod.
Yeah, because she was freaking out. Well, the
Another
metal
thing,
rod was by accident, right?
another thing, how sharp is this rod? When's the last time you had a metal rod that could cut through thick rope?
Like
I didn't
that?
find that believable.
No, that was a little off-putting. Like her trying to grasp that platform, I was like, okay, you're freaking out. You dropped a tool, get that. I thought for sure she was gonna stab her hand on that thing, but it ended up instead she's just grabbing it and it just breaks off, and then she.
Here's the thing: how bad was the welding on that thing? Like, how did she able to snap a metal piece off?
It couldn't have been rusted.
No,
right from that top portion, not at all.
There's no water on it.
No, so there's a little flaws in their writing for this show that's really good.
Yeah, they tried to make her really like super powerful there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not realistic at all.
No.
If you're listening to this and you're like, hey, I know a reason, you dummies, then tell us. Let us know in the comments what your theory is to how this all transferred, because I just find that really perplexing that she was able to snap a metal piece, right? That was obviously staircase or stairways or something.
Yeah. And not just smash the metal piece, but once she got up there to the lockers.
Oh, that's another thing.
To punch the damn doors.
I've punched lockers in school, and I did put a dent in it.
For sure.
But if you try to do more than that, you're probably gonna break bones.
You're gonna bust your knuckles.
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess that's maybe why she started doing flat palming, but she also started elbowing.
Elbow is the same thing as punching you with your knuckles. You're still gonna break something.
Mm-hmm.
And
skin's gonna come off.
And lockers don't just welt like that by going like this.
Yeah. I was like, is this shit made out of aluminum? Like, I don't understand, man.
Maybe their shit was crap, so I don't know, but whatever. You kind of roll with the punches. You're like, sure, okay, I guess you're super powerful. She pulls out the fire suit, right?
Which fit her perfectly, by the way.
Yeah, that's another thing. Everything's too convenient right now. It's really not helping the numbers.
No, for as good as the show is, it's those little things that you're like, maybe y'all should have thought of this a little bit more.
Yeah,
like you could have got a bagger suit and then get her to tailor it to fit her better. I don't know, but
she could just tape it around her.
Yeah,
right. But anyway, so she finds that. Do you remember how she got back?
Nope, they didn't show it. All we saw was Solo kind of like tweaking out about wanting to get back, and then all of a sudden she's just up and in. I thought the whole point of that air breathing apparatus she made was so she can get to the other side, which was also short, and she needed a few breaths of air just to get to that point. And now you're telling me she could swim all the way back to that hose, maybe?
Well, it's not just even that. Is how does she get down then with no weight?
Yes. Thank you. How? Did she find another weight?
Was the rope floating in the water and she happened to grab it? That doesn't matter. You still have to get down.
Yep. And she swam quite a bit ways up.
Yeah.
From the rope. So the rope was pretty far down.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe it was a little bit of oversight on the writing there.
I think they were in a rush to get that closed up and moved on.
Yeah. They're like, oh, some things don't have to make sense.
Or like, hey, we got to speed run through this because it's not that big of an importance thing. We have to have other things to talk about.
True.
Which, okay, fine. Wow me in episode 5, because if you don't, then I'm going to question you about why it's happening. What is going on here?
Yeah.
Because I need to know her going through these ordeals and how she's able to problem shoot too as well.
Became a superhuman.
don't half-ass it. Don't give me one side of it, and
Yeah.
then the other side she just magically appears back to where she was.
Don't pull a goddamn Rings of Power, okay?
Oh, that's not gonna.
don't pull
Don't say
that.
that. Oh god, trauma. It's a trauma. I watched these shows to get rid of all that out of my brain. Anyways, okay, so she gets her suit, and now she's gonna have to fabricate and fix. There's a whole new other thing that she has to get now is how does she make the cord long enough to breathe all the way back to her silo?
Yep.
So that's the other conundrum that she's gonna have to figure out. And
Mhm.
what if this guy doesn't pump the air?
Right? That's the worry. He might just run back to his vault, which he did after she came back up. He left her behind, panicked about forgetting the combo, the lock combo.
Oh
of the
yeah, by the
keypad.
way, that's a 3 strike, you're out.
Oh yeah. Right. Right. He leaving her behind. Forgetting the combination.
Yeah. If he gets it wrong, remember he says, if I get it wrong one more time, I'm locked out.
Yes. And he remembered it on the last one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Ooh, you know what? There might be a fight. There might be a fight where he pushes her back in and she's gonna end up like walking out the goddamn combination, so he can't even get her or anybody can get back in.
Oh. She was looking over at him when he was punching the numbers.
She was trying to. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if she's gonna like if he comes out again, I wonder if she's gonna be tempted to tie him up.
Yeah. Well, she kind of got him out a little bit because after he locked himself back in, she started like kind of having a breakdown, telling him, her life story kind of thing to try to draw him back out. And she was like, hey, just tell me more about the circus. Tell me more about what's going on, like what those animals were, what that thing. And he did poke his head out a little bit. It's like, oh, you mean the elephants? Oh, and they had cats like us too, but they were called lions. Okay.
Yeah, he is a strange fella.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's inside that vault.
Yeah.
Watch it just be piles of dead body. And he's a cannibal.
Oh my god. That would be
really
insane.
That would take the show in a different path.
Hardcore different path, man.
That's Fallout level now.
Oh my god. So for you, what did you find to be the biggest shocker for this episode?
The death of the judge.
The death, yeah.
Because if she wants to go out, let her go out. But sabotage the suit so she will die.
Yeah. 100% the betrayal of the judge. I figured he would have done it somewhere later down the road, but not this.
But I hear your point though, which you brought up earlier, is if he allows her to do that, then there's going to be questions asked as to why she wants to leave too.
Yes.
Which will make him weak and make the whole silo not really trust him as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're sending her out too as well now? First it was the sheriff, Sheriff Judith. What's her name?
Meadows. Judge Meadows.
No, not Judge Meadows.
Oh.
Her, what's her name? Character? Juliet.
Oh, Julian Nichols.
She was a sheriff, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So you got rid of the sheriff. Now you're getting rid of the judge. So there's people are going to say you're trying to get rid of people that are in power. Something's up with you. They caught on to you or something. So that's
people
why
that are for the people.
Yeah. Why are you trying to get rid of the people that are here in our best interest? So you're right.
This man came from IT. Let's remember this. I don't know if people forgot about this, but he came from IT and he controls everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. He sees everything.
Do you remember the judge also asking him where the hard drive was?
Oh, yes. That was big. Or, yes.
And he's like, I destroyed it.
Because she was like, I know about the things that are on the hard drive. And he was like, tell me. And she was like, I can't. She said, I can't.
And she's about to die. And then he gives her an Oculus. or
Is
Meta.
that an Oculus? I thought that was an Apple Pro.
Who knows? No, it was an Apple. No, it wasn't. It
But
was
it's an
Meta.
Apple
It was
shoe.
Meta. Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
Why wouldn't they use Apple Pro?
But they didn't. It wasn't an Apple Pro. It was something like all painted black, no screen, nothing.
Maybe it's the first black Apple Pro, man. Limited edition
You would
Silo.
think that they would do that. Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it looked
Oversight on
like a Meta. It
Apple's
looked like a
part.
Meta 3D VR instead.
Maybe it was a Meta, and whoever recommended it is probably fired now. They're like, why didn't you use our Apple Pro?
Maybe it wasn't ready for launch at that time.
Oh, good point. Because when did they
It
announce
came out
it?
last year.
Right. That makes sense.
So this filming was probably done 2 years ago.
I'm surprised there's not more Apple products in this show.
Well, they can't be. They're stuck in an old technology. Remember?
No, I know, but ancient technology, Apple.
Oh. That's also a funny thing is that how come they don't have any sort of
Macs?
they do have new computers that's in the tech area.
That's correct. Yeah.
IT.
But they're not Macs. They're not even Mac.
But here's the thing though, like
Apple monitors.
They're hell bent on making sure they stay in the old technology era.
Yeah.
They don't want to advance anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a weird silo to be in.
It's a weird show. There's a lot. There's too much. There's too many questions, and we need to know why. And we're just not getting. I feel like we're not getting there fast enough, and it's eating me alive.
I think the show cannot continue doing this. This is the problem with this show, though.
Yeah,
you cannot have too many things hidden for too long.
No,
people get agitated. A lot of people don't have patience anymore.
Yep.
And hence why TikTok's so popular. Right?
Yeah.
I just feel society as a whole that has very little patience now.
It just gets to the point.
Yeah. It's like A to B or A to Z right away, warp speed. I want it yesterday kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I get the buildup. I get wanting to do a
build storytelling is important, of course.
Yeah.
Storytelling, climax, all that is very important to keep the audience on their toes or on the edge of their seat. But you cannot do this all the time in every season.
Yeah, and you got to give us a little bit of layers. Although, I guess the judge kind of did give us something. There was when Bernard was asking her questions as she was dying, there was a name that she said. I wish I could remember what the name was, but she said a name, and she was like, it was protected, blah blah blah. Like, I know what's on there because of this. And I was like, that name means something. It means something. And it's probably has to do with the founders. It has to do with the founders, man. I feel like we're slowly getting there, that things in the founders and this solo dude and him hiding, there's stuff in there. And that damn book, The Order, has got answers for us.
Does everybody have that book order or only Bernard has access to it?
I think it's only in the vault. And whoever's in charge lays it down for the others and kind of trickles it downwards. It's like a pyramid scheme. It's,
So in that vault is a book. What's in his vault?
It's got to be the same book plus more.
I'm saying stacks of dead body.
Yeah.
And that wasn't chicken Juliet ate last episode.
Oh, brother.
It was another white.
Oh, brother. That was. She ate people without knowing. That's all bad. Oh, that's going to be all bad. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at his food supply. I'm like, how the hell is he living this long? If
he's also kind of chunky,
Yeah, he's well fed.
He's not a thin man. If you're living off rations, you'd be losing weight. You'd be losing weight with living off of rations. So he eating good in there.
Yeah.
There's
a big supply of food there, probably. Enough for 10,000 people.
Right. He's got access.
I want to see what's behind that vault. I really do.
That's good. I feel like we won't know until maybe episode 9, man.
Yeah, I think Juliet needs to just like suplex this guy. right? Just power drive this guy right across.
She's strong enough. I mean, she
Oh
broke
yeah,
down
she could take
goddamn
him.
cabinets.
She could
She
take him.
lifted weights.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
just suplex this guy or just power drive him, right? And open that. Oh man,
Yeah.
or trick him, or trick him.
I think she can. I 100%
Yeah,
think she can. She just
manipulate
needs to
him.
gain his trust slowly, which I
Yeah.
think, which is clearly happening. Even though he kind of blamed her for like,
Well,
oh,
she
you
got
just
him outside of his vault when he
yes,
had zero interest in going outside because his first thing to her was, if you try to open this vault, I'm going to kill you.
yep.
So you've gone from I'm going to kill you to I'm going to help you pump air so you can go get a suit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, he does want her to leave, which is why he's helping her. But he had no reason to leave that vault because why would he? There's nothing there for him,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So that's why I'm thinking he's bipolar. Because why else he trying to help her and then all of a sudden run back and say no, I'm not interested in helping you anymore.
Yeah.
So the two eyes could also be two different personalities.
Mm-hmm. Which is what we said last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think.
It's very interesting, man. This show is so interesting, but I need more answers. Please give me more answers.
So I have one last question.
Yeah.
What do you think the next episode is going to be about?
Oh man.
What's your speculation?
I think there's going to be a battle between Mechanic and the rest of the Silo.
I think so too.
There's going to be a brawl.
Yep.
I also think that Juliet is going to try to start fastening something to get her outside.
Yep.
Because we need to see her trying to do things.
Yes. We got one step of it, and that was her getting the suit. Now it's like, she needs the tape though, right? And where's the tape? In goddamn Mechanical, unless they have it somewhere up there. I don't know how else she's gonna get out there without that specific tape.
It all depends what's inside that vault.
Right.
We could have supplies there, and he just didn't want to give it to her.
That's a good point.
What if she finds out that he's got stuff that can help her? I think then you're gonna see a fight on your hands.
I think she's gonna end up murdering him, man.
Yeah, or just throw him in the water, let him drown.
Because he can't swim. Yeah, I can see that.
I think the two of them either go out together. Oof. Hey, what's a great way to prove to people that there's people outside living in other silos?
Oh shit, yeah. Bring another person from another silo. Yep.
You're toast, Bernard. You're toast.
Yep. Oof. Yeah,
because
then
she can go back. That means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Coming back empty-handed really doesn't mean anything. That just means
she's gonna have a whole different suit on, which then she can say, "Hey, I got it from another silo." But they'll be like, "Well, so what? There're probably dead people in that silo."
Yeah.
I don't believe you until you bring somebody.
Yep. Absolutely.
I also want to know why our boy Lucas had an episode. They're like, what was the point of that?
That only to send him back down. It was like 3 minutes.
That scene was just such a. I mean, I look at it from right now. It's such a throwaway.
It felt out of
filler scene.
It felt a little out of place.
But we know that this show doesn't do that. There's a purpose to that scene.
Right. Because after her telling him about what those stars were, about those lights being stars and that they're gas, blah, blah, blah. And they were kind of agreeing with things, and he was finally getting excited to talk. She was like, well, no, you're going back down. We're sending you back for another 5 years, or we'll cut you down to 5 years, and you're good. Okay, see you later. Take him away.
And then Bernardo actually got upset with her. Like, why did you reduce his sentence?
Yeah. And what did she say? She was like, to show
mercy?
Something like that. Yeah. To show some courtesy.
I wonder whatever voodoo they did on her was wearing off and she was becoming more. Oh, what if they did some sort of thing in her, like to make her evil, like make her like not nice because they knew that she is fair and forgiving.
Well, she was drinking a whole lot, remember? She was drinking a whole lot, and we don't know why exactly. Something made her start spiraling downwards.
The brain erasing. Oh, memory erasing.
Just slight
Something's up. Something's up for sure.
Yeah, they probably laced her drinks and were just like keeping her at bay. Yeah.
Yeah. Numbing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very tricky episode. It's not as I would say. Well, I'll say my thing when you do our numbers here. So, what is your number out of 10 for this episode?
For this one, I'm giving this a 7. I'm giving this 7. They planted a lot of different seeds. They set this one felt more like a setup episode again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some might even say it's a filler episode, but it's not. It's more than that, but slightly more.
Yeah. And it brought more questions to the table and speculation for sure.
And that's where my problem with this episode is. I don't want more questions. I want the ones that I had before answered a little bit.
Yes.
And then you throw in a little bit more, you tack it on. Don't just keep piling on the I don't know section and have this I need to know section empty.
Yeah.
You
Too much mystery is not a good thing.
Yeah, you got to give us something here. The audience can know about it, but the characters don't need to know about it.
Correct.
Right? So I need that, and I'm not getting that, and that could be a downfall for this season.
Yeah, I agree.
So you give it a 7 out of 10. I'm right there with you, 7 out of 10. I was going back and forth with you 6.5 and 7, but I don't think this episode is that bad that it needs to get in the 6s.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still a decent episode. 7 is a decent number. It's not a terrible number. It's not a great number. We've set a high bar for this show because of all the episodes we watched previously.
Yes.
Right. So we can't say this is a bad episode. We just can't say it's a great episode.
Right.
Right. And so that also is a testament of how good this show has been.
Yes.
Where a 7 is the lowest that we probably have given this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to go on a limb here and say that going forward, I think this will be the lowest score for us.
I hope so, man. Especially with what happened in this episode and them being chased, her getting him back out of the vault and getting the suit, and at some point they're going to appoint a new judge.
Absolutely.
And I think episode 5,
Sims is my guy.
I think so.
It's about time Common got into the big throne.
Or what I'm seeing is the mayor becoming the judge and him appointing Sims as a new mayor.
Oh.
Because the judge has the power.
Or he takes both. The judge, jury, and the executioner.
Become the supreme chancellor of the republic.
I'm Judge Dredd. I am the law.
I am the law. Yeah. Straight up, man.
Yeah. I see Bernard as a guy that wants it all to himself.
Keep everybody in check.
He loves
the
power.
Hero.
He loves power. He loves control. And that's where Sims is going to be pissed at him. And you're going to see that rift between the two of them. Sims like, hey, we had agreement here. I was going to be mayor. You were going to be judge. What's going on? Why are you taking both positions? Now, what am I then? I had your back. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
So I see there's going to be, I really want to see that division there between the two of them. I really want to see this because I think it can make for compelling story going forward.
I think so.
Yeah. So 7 out of 10, our lowest mark for Silo ever, which is why we put, is Silo getting better or worse? This is a pivotal part of the season here.
Yeah.
It could go up from here, or it could start going on a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Which would probably put an end to season 3 hopes.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, like I think we know. I have a feeling like season 5 or episode 5 is gonna pop off and be crazy, but it's the other episodes after that is what I'm worried about.
For me, I don't even need season. For for me, I
Episode
don't need episode 5 to be amazing. I just need it to be one tick from this episode.
Yeah.
It needs to be an 8. It needs to be an 8, and I'm okay
Mhm.
with that because it's now going back to where it should be.
Right.
Right? And then 6 could be an 8.5. It doesn't need to be a 9 or 10 all the time. I just need to be in the 8s. And for me,
Right.
that's still a good show and worth continuing watching for. And hopefully that also allows for a season 3 to come down the road.
Right.
If there's legs for that. We don't know what the plans are for Silo. I haven't read the books. They're based on books. So I don't know how far the books go. I have no
Right.
idea. I'm in the dark, and I prefer it that way because I don't want to read everything. Right now I'm reading a lot of House of Dragon and stuff like that. I'm reading the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I don't want to read everything out there because then what is the point of watching the show?
Mhm.
Right? For this, I do not want to read it. I want to be surprised. Right?
Do you want to know how many books there are?
How many?
3.
3?
There's 3
So
books.
then they could push 3 seasons out.
Possibly, yeah. If
I
each season is a book. If each season is
if it is, yeah, if it is. Most likely not. Usually books are very detailed. So, I mean, it depends how. I would say this is probably like 5 seasons.
I can see that. If they're doing like maybe half a book, like half of the book is one
Or
season.
maybe a book and a half, and depending on how much they're able to pull into as a live action from that particular book in the series. If the first book is just straightforward, at the end she gets out of the silo, then that's one book done. But if second book is more in depth about character developments and so many other storylines branching out, then it probably needs 2 seasons to flush it all out. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 5 seasons max for this show, but I would be surprised if the next season is the last one. I wouldn't be surprised.
And hopefully it answers all the questions that people have.
Hopefully they're not just living in a nuclear rocket and it all opens up and they all fly out. These silos they're all space. But anyways, that is for today's show, the Mighty show. We'll be back next week to do episode 5. Everybody have a good week of work or not, depending on what you're doing in life.
Word.
And we'll catch you guys next week, Sunday. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like, subscribe button, hang out with us. Let us know your comments in the comment section. Are you watching it? Go watch it. This is a good show. If you like mystery, if you like that kind of stuff, go check it out. It is a good show on Apple TV. Say bye, Sheldon.